Hey, what up guys, welcome back to the channel. And today in this lesson 5, we're gonna be going over another 20 Arabic phrases which are absolutely helpful and practical. And for those who are looking for these phrases and sentences, this video is absolutely for these people. Then without any further ado, let's get into this. Alright folks, the first phrase is كم مرة أقول كم مرة أقول. How many time I would say, or how many time I say. كم مرة, how many time. كم means how many or how much. مرة means time or unit, and أقول means I say. كم مرة أقول, how many time I say. Or for example, كم مرة أقول لا تفعل كذي. كم مرة أقول لا تفعل كذي. How many time I say don't do such a this thing, or don't do like this. Or you just want to ask كم مرة تسوي رياضة في الأسبوع. كم مرة تسوي رياضة في الأسبوع. How many times do you do sport in the week. كم مرة means how many time. كم means how many. مرة means time. تسوي means you do. رياضة means sport, it's noun, and في means it's the preposition and means in, and الأسبوع means week. كم مرة تسوي رياضة في الأسبوع. How many times do you do sport in the week. Or if you want to ask this from a female, you have to say كم مرة تسوين رياضة في الأسبوع. And the next phrase, كم دولة سافرت في حياتك. كم دولة سافرت في حياتك. How many nations did you travel in your life. كم دولة سافرت في حياتك. كم means how many. دولة means nation or state or country. سافرت means you traveled, it's past tense verb. في means in. حياتك means your life. كم دولة سافرت في حياتك. How many nations did you travel in your life. And the next one, كم مرة تسافر في السنة. كم مرة تسافر في السنة. How many times do you travel in the year. كم مرة means how many times. تسافر means you travel, it's a present tense, but this one is the present tense, okay? But the previous one was the past tense, but this one is present tense. في السنة means in the year. كم مرة تسافر في السنة. How many times do you travel in the year. And for female we say كم مرة تسافرين في السنة. كم مرة تسافرين في السنة. And about this phrase, which is so important, you just want to ask what time is it. In Arabic you can say كم ساعة. كم ساعة. Or بلا زحمة كم ساعة. Excuse me, what time is it. Or لو سمحت كم ساعة. Excuse me, what time is it. Or you can also say الساعة كم. الساعة كم. You can use both of them interchangeably. There's no so huge differences between them. And we said that كم means how many or how much. But in this context we have to translate it what. Because in English we don't say how many is time. We say what time is it. Then we have to translate it كم to the what, not how many in this context, okay? And the next one, كم ساعة تنام. كم ساعة تنام. How many hours do you sleep. كم means how many. ساعة mean hour, and تنام means you sleep. كم ساعة تنام. How many hours do you sleep. But if you want to ask in this way, that in which hour or when do you sleep, you have to say أي ساعة بتنام. أي ساعة بتنام. In which hour do you sleep. Or if you just want to ask how many hours do you work, you have to say كم ساعة تشتغل. كم ساعة تشتغل. How many hours do you work. كم means how many. ساعة mean hour, it's singular, and تشتغل means you work. كم ساعة تشتغل. How many hours do you work. But if you want to ask this from a female, you have to say كم ساعة تشتغلين. And the next phrase, كم ساعة تسوي رياضة. كم ساعة تسوي رياضة. How many hours do you do sport or do you do exercise? كم means how many, ساعة means hour, تسوي means you do, and رياضة means sport. كم ساعة تسوي رياضة. How many hours do you do sport? And the next one, ممكن أطلب. ممكن أطلب. Is it possible I request? ممكن basically means possible or feasible. Possible or feasible. And أطلب means I request or I ask or I want. But when you say ممكن أطلب, it means is it possible or is it feasible I ask or I request. The next phrase is ممكن الفاتورة. ممكن الفاتورة. Is it possible check? But when you say ممكن الفاتورة, it basically means is it possible to hand me over the check or bill? ممكن الفاتورة. الفاتورة means check or bill. When you are in a restaurant and you want to pay the price of the food and to get it rung up, you can say ممكن الفاتورة. ممكن الفاتورة. Or you can also say ممكن الحساب. ممكن الحساب. Is it possible the check or bill? And حساب means the check or bill. But it literally means the calculation. حساب means calculation. ممكن الحساب. ممكن الحساب. ممكن أكلمك بعدين. ممكن أكلمك بعدين. Is it possible I talk to you later? ممكن أكلمك بعدين. ممكن means is it possible. أكلمك means I talk to you. أكلم means I talk. And with attached pronouns ك, it means I talk to you. And بعدين means later. ممكن أكلمك بعدين. Is it possible I talk to you later? And you just want to ask someone's number. In Arabic, you can say ممكن تعطيني رقمك. And this phrase refers to female. You say this phrase to a female. ممكن تعطيني رقمك. Is it possible to give me your number? ممكن means possible. تعطيني means you give me. تعطيني means you give me. And رقمك means your number. And the next one, ممكن تفتح الباب. ممكن تفتح الباب. Is it possible or feasible to open the door? ممكن تفتح الباب. Is it possible to open the door? ممكن means possible. تفتح means you open. And الباب means the door. But if you want to say this phrase to the female, you have to say ممكن تفتحين الباب. ممكن تفتحين الباب. Okay? But if you want to say to close the door, is it possible to close the door? You have to say ممكن تسكر الباب. ممكن تسكر الباب. Is it possible to close the door? ممكن means possible. تسكر means you close. And الباب means the door. ممكن تسكر الباب. And for female we say ممكن تسكرين الباب. ممكن تسكرين الباب. Is it possible to close the door? ممكن تجلس إهني. ممكن تجلس إهني. Is it possible to have a seat here? ممكن means possible. تجلس means you sit. And إهني means here. ممكن تجلس إهني. Is it possible to have a seat here? And for female we say ممكن تجلسين. ممكن تجلسين إهني. And next phrase, ممكن ترتب الغرفة. ممكن ترتب الغرفة. Is it possible to put the room in order? Or is it possible to arrange or organize the room? ممكن means possible. ترتب basically means you put something in order, okay? Or you arrange something or somewhere. Or you organize or you tied up. And الغرفة means the room. It's noun. ممكن ترتب الغرفة. Is it possible to tidy up the room? But if you want to say this to the waitress, to a female one, you have to say ممكن ترتبين الغرفة. ممكن تجرب هذا. ممكن تجرب هذا. Is it possible to experience this, or is it possible to try on this? ممكن means possible. تجرب means you experience or you try on. تجرب means you try on or you experience. And هذا means this. It's a demonstrated pronoun. ممكن تجرب هذا. Is it possible to experience this? And for female we say ممكن تجربين هذا. ممكن تجربين هذا. And the next phrase is مبين أنت مستانس. مبين أنت مستانس. It's obvious you're happy. مبين is extremely important and it's extremely useful. It's a legit verb that you can see all the day that native speakers using this verb, and it means obvious. مبين أنت مستانس. It's obvious you're happy. مبين, it's obvious. أنت means you, and مستانس means happy. مبين أنت مستانس. Or you want to say it's obvious you're sick, or it's obvious you're ill. You can say مبين أنت مريض. مبين أنت مريض. But if you want to say this for a female, you have to say مبين أنت مريضة. مبين أنت مريضة. It's obvious you're sick. مبين أنت تعبان. مبين أنت تعبان. It's obvious you're exhausted or you're tired. مبين means obvious. أنت means you, and تعبان means exhausted or tired. And for female we say مبين أنت تعبانة. مبين أنت تعبانة. Or you just want to say it's obvious you're sad or you're upset. You can say مبين أنت زعلان. مبين أنت زعلان. مبين means obvious, أنت means you, and زعلان means upset or sad. It's an adjective. And for female we say مبين أنت زعلانة. مبين أنت زعلانة. مبين أنت يعان. مبين أنت يعان. It's obvious you're hungry. مبين obvious, أنت means you, and يعان means hungry. مبين أنت يعان. It's obvious you're hungry. In the last phrase, مبين أنت عطشان. مبين أنت عطشان. It's obvious you're thirsty. And for female, we have to say مبين أنت عطشانة. مبين أنت عطشانة. Alright guys, we have done with this lesson, and hopefully you got something from these lessons. And in these lessons, we went through more than 100 phrases, and I hope they were useful for you. And thank you for tuning into this YouTube video. Have a good day. Bye-bye.